You're listening to the Fierce Fatty Podcast, episode 45. And we're talking about this is why you think your fat body is unattractive, plus the crucial questions you need to ask yourself today. Let's do it.
Perfect.
I'm Victoria Welsby, TEDx speaker, best-selling author and fat activist. I have transformed my life from hating my body with desperately low self-esteem to being a courageous and confident, fierce fatty who loves every inch of this jelly. Society teaches us living in a fat body is bad, but what if we spent less time, money and energy on the pursuit of thinness and instead focused on the things that actually matter, like if pineapple on pizza should be outlawed, or if the mullet was the greatest haircut of the 20th century. So, how do you stop negative beliefs about your fat body controlling your life? It's the Fierce Fatty Podcast. Let's begin.
Hello, fatty. How you doing? How's life? I took a week off because it's my birthday. Oh my dang. I'm a Leo. The whole month's about me. Oh my god. I think I told you this in the last episode. Yeah, I did. So what did I do for my birthday? I saw that movie, Stage Mother. I probably won't ever remember that I've watched it, but it was entertaining. I had a, what do you call them, a nice blast and some popcorn, and it was a reclining chair in a cinema. Me and my sister was there, and there was only one other person, so that was good. I went to the beach a lot with my week off, luckily. So in Ireland, it's mostly rainy, 1,000 days a year, but the week of my birthday, it was sunny and really hot for Ireland. So it'd be like 22 degrees. I don't know what that is in American Fahrenheit. Probably, I don't know, not that hot. So in LA, it'd probably be, 35 degrees. So that's a comparison for you. But I went to the beach a lot because there's lots of beaches around where I live. Took my nephew, dug some sandcastles, got stung by a jellyfish. Jellyfish stung only lasted an hour, so that was cool. Oh, and then, so I had jellyfish sting on one foot, and then I had fallen down the stairs, and I'd broken my toe on the other foot. That was fun. So I was walking downstairs with my laptop, my phone in one hand, and then a full cup of coffee, like a big giant mug. It'd gone cold, because I've been working. And, and then I slipped and I didn't go to the hospital to find out that I broke my toe, so I'm just guessing. But you know what? I've only broken my finger in my life, and maybe I've broken a toe before. But you just know because it's like so painful, and you can't walk on it, and it's like really bad pain. Anyway, so I'm guessing probably a broken toe. I also bought some new bras from Marks and Spencer's, which is a British company. That's the only place I buy my bras. I cannot find anywhere that the bra sizes are reliable. I went to Curvy Kate, which I think is a British company, and I got a bra from there, which is my normal size. And it came, and as soon as I opened it, I was like, no, that's not going to work. Like the cup sizes were like, I don't know, the size of an egg or something, and my tits are not the size of eggs. And it was tiny, like no way was it going to fit. I was like, what? Why do they do this? Why are bra sizes so different everywhere you go? So yeah, got me some new bras, exciting, and got some socks. Oh my God. Hey, pro tip for you. If you are a human that has bigger-ish feet, so I am in UK size 8 feet, in US size 10, and I am able to buy, sometimes it doesn't work because they're too big, small version of men's socks. And the reason why I do that is men's socks last so much longer. They're so much thicker, but not thick as in like woolly thick. They're just, just a standard sock, and they're cheaper. Hello, sexism. So I got myself some little socks and then some men's socks. They're a little bit too big, but whatever. They'll last for 15 years. I also ate some Thai food. Oh, and I had 2 shandies. Oh my gosh. A shandy is, if you don't know, half lager and half lemonade. So lemonade as in 7-Up or Sprite. I'm just not that big a drinker, I think I drank so much when I was a younger person, when I was like in my early 20s or teenager. I started drinking from the age of 15, that I've just used up my whole life's alcohol consumption. I'm just not bothered. I just can't get into it. Sometimes I wish, I desire to go out on a bender or something, but I'm just not into it. So I struggled with the second shandy. I left most of it. I got a haircut. My first haircut since January. Oh my gosh. It was so good. I got it. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my gorgeous hair. It looks amazing. Oh my God. And then I dyed it grey. And I also fed a pig at a farm. That was pretty cool. Yeah. So I've been busy in this week and I've had some naps and it was great. I need to take some more time off. I'm not good at taking time off. You know what? I just get so with doing work into it and excited on a Monday to do work that I'm like, I don't need time off, or I don't even think about it. But it's not good. Take some more time off. I think this is my first week off since 9 months. Yeah, that's not good, Victoria. Take my time off. And I'm feeling really proud of myself because this is episode 45. It feels like a milestone. I don't know why it's not episode 50 that feels like a milestone, but episode 45. And the reason I'm feeling proud of myself is because I made a commitment to myself to record 50 episodes this year. Now, I started the podcast in 2019 in October, and I did 11 episodes in 2019, and so this means this is episode 34 of 2020, so I only have 16 to go, and I'm recording this in mid-August, and I just feel proud of myself that I did it. I'm doing it, and I know I'll do it, unless I die or something. Let's hope I don't die, and then people are listening to this episode being like, she said she might die and then she died. Just fingers crossed, I don't want to die. So that's one of my favourite qualities about myself, is when I make a commitment to myself, I stick to it, unless the world ends. And yes, the world did kind of end this year, but I still did it. And like I said, if I say to someone I'll do something, I pretty much will. And if I don't, it haunts me. I remember the things that I promised to do. And something that's haunting me is in episode, I think it was episode 4 or 5, when I was talking about that TV show that I was on, Who Are You Calling Fat? I want to call it the O Word because that was the production name. It was called the O Word, which is better, I think, than Who Are You Calling Fat? But anyway, and I said, I'm going to get Courtney and David on the podcast to talk about this stuff. And I haven't done it yet, and it's because schedules have not been able to line up. And I've just been talking to David last week, being like, come on, book it in, let's do it. And it's because it's bugging me, because I'm like, hey, I said I was going to do this, and it's been months, and I want to do it. But also, this is one of my least favourite qualities, is that... say I'm doing what I say I'm going to do also translates to being stubborn, which is one of my least favourite qualities about myself, is sometimes I can be stubborn. I know it's hard to believe that I have any bad qualities, obviously, because I'm perfection wrapped up into a human body. Stubborn. Maybe some people would call it tenacity. Yeah, I'm not stubborn, I'm tenacious. So I think it's one of my core values to be in integrity. And for me, integrity means doing what I say I will do. And sometimes life happens, but, pretty much I do. So yeah, celebrating myself today. Now, a reminder that last week I shared with you about the Fierce Fatty Vault, and I shared that on my birthday. You lot love this. Like, people are going wild for it. I'm telling you. If you've not got it already, go and get it. It's really good. People, like, I only sent one message about it and one email and one thing over social media, and people have gone bananas for it and are really enjoying it and are getting a lot from it. So if you haven't got the Fierce Fatty Vault, go and get it. Guess how much it costs? Nothing. Obviously. Oh my God. So I've got a two-parter podcast here for you today, like two separate topics. The first topic is, this is why you think that your fat body is unattractive. And so we'll get into that right now.
We're going to be talking about why you think your body is unattractive and why is that? Like, what is going on there? So I'm going to be covering what is the reality of living in a body that you hate, why we feel this way about our bodies, and how we can fix the problem once and for all. Okay, so I want to paint a picture for you. I'm going to read some things to you, and I want to know if any of this sounds familiar to you. Sometimes I find it tolerable, and sometimes I wish I could change myself more than anything. Most days I don't even want to look at myself. I feel like I try so hard to like how I look, and I just can't. Does that resonate with you? Next. The whole time my husband insists I am beautiful and perfect the way I am, but I just don't see it. I hide daily in baggy clothes and try to never look in the mirror so I don't make myself sad. I make sure any shirt I buy is longer than my belly and that anything I wear is not clinging to my fat. Do you resonate with that? Next. I have to find a way to look at myself and just be okay with it. When I look at someone else, I see their wit, personality, and heart. The weight or body just doesn't matter. When I look at myself, only the body matters. I know this is my hang-up, but I need to find a way to assign the things I value in others and value those in me. I have no idea how to get the negative Nelly in my head to shut up, though. Next. I'm trying really hard to learn to love my body as it is, but I find it really hard. I bought a summer dress recently. I'm a jeans and t-shirt girl, and I wanted to feel a bit more feminine. I put it on and cried. Has that ever happened to you? I follow many body positive people on Instagram and TikTok and just wish I could feel about myself how they feel about themselves. I want to feel good about me. I do not want to worry about what other people think about my fat. I would love to just enjoy being me and seeing in me what my partner does. And finally, the media overloads us with visuals of slim women and makes out that this is what a gorgeous, sexy woman looks like. When I then go to try and feel cute, I look at myself and compare myself to the women I've seen, and then I feel disheartened and fall into a cycle of depression, anxiety, and hating the way I look. So do you resonate with any of those things? I know that used to be my reality. And they are actual quotes from people who have shared how they feel about their body. So if any of that is your reality, I want to tell you that there's a reason behind it. So the reason is that you truly, deeply, honestly believe that being fat is not okay. So intellectually, you might think it's okay for people to be fat, it's okay for me to be fat, but deep down, you believe that it's either unattractive or unlovable or unhealthy or not sexy or whatever it is. in those deep, deep, dark places in your mind. You don't believe that it's okay for you to be fat. You might think it's okay for others to be fat, and you might be able to see the beauty in others. But for you, it's not acceptable. And the reason is that deep down, truly, you believe that it's not okay to be fat. I want you to imagine this. I'm going to use an analogy. So imagine you're in your kitchen, you go to the tap or the faucet, if you're American, you turn on the tap and out comes dirty water. It's brown and it's clearly not clean. So you decide that you need to fix it. So what you do is you buy a new tap maybe, you buy a new home filtration system, you clean out the pipes, and you try the water again, and it's still dirty. And the reason is because the source of the contamination is somewhere else. It's not in your home. It's right at the source. And so let's pretend the source here is the mountain. So at the mountain, there's something there making that water bad, not good, poisonous or whatever. And that's like not loving or accepting your body. So people don't realize it's a problem to drink the quote unquote dirty water, and then they get sick. AKA, people don't realize that hating themselves is not a normal way to exist in the world. And they get quote unquote sicker. They believe these things more and more and more. And people try to fix the problem locally. They don't succeed at fixing the problem, and then they blame themselves. They blame the tactics they've used. And they never think to go to the source. It's just not in their brain. It's not their fault that they don't think about going to the source. They think, I'm just going to fix it on these surface level things, and they never go and look at the source, the deep dark places in your brain that says it's not okay to be fat, and that goes unexamined. And so if you keep trying to fix the water and it's not working, you might just accept that dirty water is a part of your life. You might just accept hating your body as a part of your life. And that's not okay. So I'm here today to tell you that you deserve to have a life that is free from shame, that is free from dirty water. And it's not okay to be drinking poisoned water. It's not okay for others to be drinking it, people you know in your family to be drinking it. It's not okay for generations to come to have to drink that water, that same water, and then think it's okay and think that there is no alternative. But there is an alternative. You just have to look in a different place. You have to go to the source and fix it there, so that you and others around you don't have to drink that dirty water. You and those around you don't have to suffer their whole lives hating their bodies, hating your body. There is another way, okay? It's not your fault if you hate your body. There is another way, and we need to go to the source and really work out what's going on there.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. The next part of what we're talking about is the crucial questions you need to ask yourself today in order to become body confident. And so what I'm talking about in this is 3 crucial questions to ask yourself so that you can get to a place of body love. The reasons why we make certain mistakes, how to work out the impact of lower/higher confidence has on your life, and what you need to know to overcome the belief that you can't increase your confidence. So, do you want to listen to it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Okay, let's do it. There are 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself today. And the first one is, how do you know when it's time to work on your confidence? Let me repeat that. How do you know when it's time to work on your confidence? So what I am saying in this question that you should ask yourself is, when is enough enough? When is the point where you're going to get serious and committed about this stuff? And how will you know that you're committed? So a lot of the time, people are in tons of pain around this topic, around their fat body. They're in pain because they don't like it, and they know that that is a problem, maybe, that it's not normal. It is normal to not like your body, but you can get to a place where you're not constantly thinking that you're a piece of shit. So a lot of people are in pain with this, yet they say, oh, it's not time for me to really get serious about this stuff. And the reason that people could say this is that the solution may seem worse than the problem. So this is what I mean when I talk about that, is imagine if you had a toothache. If you have a toothache, I don't know about you, but if I got a toothache, I would totally put it off. I'd be like, oh, it's nothing. Don't worry, it's fine. Because if I addressed the issue, I would probably have to go to the dentist. If I go to the dentist, maybe I'd have to get a filling or a root canal. Maybe my tooth might need to be pulled out. Who knows? And all of that costs time, money, effort, and also it's painful and scary. Of course, if I get a little bit of a toothache, I'm going to be like, oh, I'll pan it out, I'll see what happens, and hope that it goes away. So it makes sense, right? Of course you'd put it off, because at that moment, having a little bit of a toothache, the solution could be worse than the pain that you're currently feeling with a sore tooth. But the thing is, it could get worse and worse, and it could get infected, or the decay could get deeper. And if only you had gone earlier to the dentist, it would have been easier. Or it could be nothing. Right? So you could have a toothache and the next day you're like, oh, that went away. It just happened to be that I ate an ice cube or something and it hurt my tooth, right? So you will know whether you've got this long-term pain or if it's something just like a temporary thing. So if you're feeling pain around the idea of loving or accepting your fat body, is it something that's short-lived? Or is it something that's chronic? Something that's been persisting for years? I don't know the answer to that for you. It could be something that you just like, I think it's going to go away tomorrow. Or, you know what, I've had this toothache, aka have hated my body for a long time and it's caused me pain for a long time. But I've been putting off getting committed to overcoming it because of the solution, my belief that the solution is going to be difficult, painful, take a lot of time, take a lot of money, whatever it is that you've told yourself. And the solution can be those things, right? And so it's not like you're being irrational. FYI, so I'm British, right? Obviously. Now, in the UK, as you know, in the UK, I grew up in poverty, and I don't know if it's for all British kids, but the poor ones, it must be just the poor ones, get, or maybe everyone does. Anyway, gets free dentistry. We go to the dentist up until the age of 18. Kids go to the dentist, you get free braces. I even had surgery on my teeth because one of my canine, I think, was pointing in the wrong direction. So I had surgery when I was a kid. When I had surgery when I was a kid, I was so nervous about the surgery, not because I was going to have a needle in my hand or I was going to, all the pain that could be after. I was so nervous about the surgery because I believed that when I was put under and they were operating on me, that that I might hump the bed. Like, I thought that being passed out from this, that I might start grinding on the surgery table and the surgeons would be like, whoa, what is this child doing? Look at her, she's such a pervert. That was my biggest fear. So anyway, sidetrack. You don't need to know about me being scared about humping on a thing to get this point across. But when I left the UK, it had been 10 years since I had gone to the dentist. So I had braces, my teeth were great, but I hadn't been to the dentist in 10 years because you had to start paying. And I don't know if it's true about British people that all of our teeth are fucked up. If it was true that, I don't know, kids wouldn't have dentists. Anyway, I hadn't gone to the dentist in 10 years. That's not who I am now, because I moved to Canada. And maybe it's true that in North America, they like to look after their teeth more, but it was a goal of mine to go to the dentist. Now, the reason why I hadn't gone to the dentist is because I had a few experiences of things that had scared me, that had traumatized me. Once when I was, 15 or whatever, and they were putting the wire on my braces, my lip got stuck under the wire on one side and the dentist was like doing it up on the other side, and I was so shy at that point that I would not say anything, and so every time he clipped it in, it cut into my lip more and more and more, and then when he got into this side he was like, oh my god, why didn't you tell me? And I was just like, because I'm scared, I'm shy. And that happened. And then I had to get my first ever filling. And it was in my canine tooth, one of my front teeth. And to do a filling on one of those front teeth, they put the needle, it feels like they're putting it up through your nose because, that's where the nerves are. And so it felt like he was putting a needle in my nose. And that was just awful and horrible for me. And they had to remove probably 6 teeth from my mouth. Anyway, and so I had all these experiences with the dentist and I was like, I don't want to go. When I got to Canada, they looked at my teeth and they were like, bitch, this is fucked up. Like, you have been to the dentist in 10 years. I had to have numerous fillings. I had to have 2 root canals. And root canals, they're not fun. I wouldn't say they were the funnest experience of my life. But if I had just gone to the dentist regularly from the time that I stopped getting the free dentist at the age of 18, and that wasn't always possible because I was poor and all that type of stuff, but if I had, then I wouldn't be arriving in Canada with stereotypically British teeth and them hanging out of my mouth and loads of work needing to be done. So do you think, here's my question to you, do you think that it's easier to work on loving your fat body at the age of 35, for example, or at the age of 55? If you have internalized diet culture and fat phobia for longer, it stands to reason that it's going to be harder to overcome. And of course, that's not always the case. But why wait longer? Why not take action now instead of waiting another year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years until you die to tackle this stuff? Because theoretically, it's going to be more difficult if you wait longer, because the more you're being exposed to fat phobia and diet culture and negative messages without them going unchecked. So if you know that this is a chronic problem for you, if you know you've been having this toothache of not liking your body and it's been going on for so long and you've been putting it off, when is the time that you're going to say, do you know what? Even though it might be difficult, even though it might take effort and time and all that type of stuff, I'm going to do it. So when do you know? When do you know it's time to work on your confidence? So that is the first question. Now, the second question is, how much is working on your confidence worth? Let me repeat it. The second question is, how much is working on your confidence worth? And this is very individual. So, is this actually important to you? Will having higher confidence make life better for you? Will hating your body make things harder for you? And in what ways? Now, I can't answer this question for you because it's so individual. And you could say, how much is working on my confidence worth to me? Not a lot. I don't care. Or it could be a lot, or it could be massive. I don't know. It's individual to everyone. So here are some ideas of ways that having higher or lower confidence could be affecting your life. Okay, so the first one is relationships. So think about your spouse, friends, children, family. So if you're interested in finding a romantic partner, for example, would that be easier if you didn't hate yourself, hate your body? How would you relate to your friends differently? I know when I had low confidence and I was dieting, I was the worst friend ever, because I had always been like, oh my God, I turned into an American. Oh my God, from California, which is not how California sounds. Anyway, oh my God, did you know that packet of crisps has like 17 calories more than that other packet of crisps? And so you should eat that. And oh my God, I ate like 3 tomatoes at lunch, and I was boring to be around because that's all I ever spoke about. I'm not saying that you do that. That was just me. That was my experience. I was the worst friend. And so when I got to a better place and I wasn't dieting and I did like my body, I personally think that I became a better friend because I wasn't also adding to someone else's body insecurity with my own body insecurity. What about the way that you relate to your kids? What are they picking up through osmosis? Now, you might, if you're confident or you're not confident, it's probably affecting those around you. And so, your extended family, your close family, or your children, or your spouse, or whatever, how you relate to them is probably different if you are body confident versus if you are not. So how that affects you is different for everyone. Now, next one, work. Being able to ask for your worth. Maybe if you're more confident, you are able to ask for a pay rise, or if you're going for a new job, ask for the salary that you desire, or even apply for the job, or even go to the interview and not be worried about what you look like. Do things in work that you might be nervous to do. This stuff about work, that's what really got me interested in confidence. So I was in corporate recruitment for 9 years, and I would see time and time again. So I would do recruitment for companies, and I would do recruitment working for an agency, and so I would place people into different companies and then work for in-house at one company and get people to work in that one company. And so I would interview tons of people all the time, always talking to people. And I would see it on the both sides, because when you're working for an agency, people could be more truthful about how they feel and what money they're looking for, and their hopes and desires and their fears and all that type of stuff. And I would see these incredible people, and they would be like, oh, I don't know, I think I should ask for like this much money. And I, knowing the market, knowing who they were as a human being and as a candidate, I'd be like, no, you're not asking for that. You're asking for double that, because that's what you're worth. And incidentally, mostly it would be not men who would be asking for less than that they were worth, or had worries about whether they were good enough. Or mostly the men would be like, yeah, blah, 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 give me $1 million. And I'd be like, okay, cool your jets. Yeah, so that's what got me really interested, because I'd be like, what? Why can't they see how awesome they are? Like, I can see it. And a lot of my conversations with candidates would be like, hello, do you realize that you're incredible? Don't worry about it. You're going to get this job. And you're going to, obviously I wouldn't say you're going to get this job because we didn't know, but, I would be encouraging them. And it would be confusing to me because I could see it in black and white that they were worth the salary and they could do the job and they were great and all this stuff, and they didn't believe it. So are you accepting less? Are you maybe working for a boss that likes to like throw chairs across the room when he's angry? I had so much gossip about people who do that because, we would hear all the inside stuff when we were talking to candidates and be like, why are you leaving your job? And there was this one property construction company, and the owner was like a Donald Trump, and whenever he'd get mad he'd like throw chairs and he'd just randomly fire people. And one time he owed me money, and he was known for not paying bills, and I went to his office and I was like, I'm not leaving till he pays money, and they were like, he's at lunch, and I was like, no he's not, give me my money. And he gave me the money anyway. So are you working for, a shit boss or a shit company because you believe that you're not worth more? Now, sometimes situations dictate that you have to work at shitty places because there's no alternative. But is it because you believe that you're not, good enough for whatever reason? Okay, so the next criteria in this one is the way that you're able to care for yourself. If you had body confidence or higher body confidence, would being able to go to the doctor be easier, knowing that you are worth weight-neutral, evidence-based care? Would it be easier if you had higher body confidence to be able to move your body in ways that make you happy, or even not move your body because you realize it's bad for your mental health? Or finally stopping shaming yourself when you eat food and being able to nourish your body. So those are just a few examples. But the list can be really long, or perhaps not. The list of ways that your life could be affected by this stuff. Again, it's individual. Yeah, so the list could be really, really long. And you may decide that hating your body or not loving your body doesn't have that much of an impact on your life, and that's fine. Or you may realize, like, holy shit, this is having a massive impact. And so how much is confidence worth to you? So if you're thinking that higher self-esteem, higher body esteem would be a good thing for you, then really take the time to work out what is possible, and what you could do, and what impacts in your life having higher body confidence could have for you. Again, it could be worthless, or it could be something that is priceless. For me, this stuff is priceless. It changed so much in my life. I'd want to say like pretty much everything. Trying to think of something that it didn't change. No. Can't think of anything. Okay, so the third question is, am I capable of being a fierce fatty / confident? Okay, let me repeat the question again. The third question to ask yourself is, am I capable of being a fierce fatty or being body confident? Do I believe that I can do it? Or do you believe, like, it's just not possible for me, for someone like me? I just know it's not, in my, something that's going to happen in my life. Now, there are various barriers in people's lives and systems of oppression that make things various degrees of difficult, right? That's just life. So outside of that, do you believe that there is something about you as a person, your character, that means that you can't improve your relationship with your body? So we already have tons of barriers in life. So if you're fat, then that's already a massive barrier to be able to love your body, accept your body, because the whole world is telling us that our bodies are wrong. So that's a massive barrier. And if you have other marginalized identities, then that's more stuff that you have to deal with. So knowing that, do you want to challenge that thought in your brain that could be making it even more difficult? That thought that's saying you're just not the type of person that can do this. And if you do believe that you can't do it, then is that true? Is it a fact? And a reminder, a fact is something that's 100% true 100% of the time. Have you ever felt more confident? Have you ever achieved things? Have you ever exceeded your own expectations? So yes, probably, most likely, right? And that is evidence to show you that maybe you are capable of improving your body confidence and perhaps even becoming a fierce fatty. But I totally get it, right? How can you be confident that you can feel more confident if you're not confident? That's a bit of a tongue twister. Let me repeat that. How can you be confident that you can feel more confident if you're not confident? So I just want you to challenge that thought, if you have it, that being more confident isn't possible for you, when you know deep down you've achieved plenty of things in your life. And when I say achieve things, I don't mean that, you got the Nobel Peace Prize or that you have wrote 17 best-selling books. I mean that you have able to go outside, brush your teeth, talk to other human beings. These are all achievements. And so if you're just poo-pooing yourself and being like, well, I haven't done anything. Have you not done anything? Because I think you have. Stop lying to yourself. You're amazing. Okay? So have you done things even though there are so many barriers in front of you? That just goes to show that you're even more badass. Even if you've got all of these different marginalized identities and you're having to deal with a world that tells you that your body's not okay, or, violence against you, or all the different things that could be happening, and you still have achieved things in life, holy fucking shit. That is amazing. Versus, if you're, a straight, cisgendered, white man and you've achieved things, that's still good, but it's even more impressive when you have these different identities that might cause barriers in your life. I'm not saying that they absolutely will cause barriers, it's different for everyone. Okay, so those are the 3 questions. Let me repeat them back to you. Am I capable of being a fierce fatty or confident? So ask that to yourself. See what comes up in your beautiful brain. The next question is, how much is working on your confidence worth? So how much is working on my confidence worth to me? There's no right or wrong answer. You could say, no, I feel like fucking Beyonce. It's not worth anything to me because I'm already super confident. Or if you feel like Beyonce already, you might be like, well, it is super important because I feel good, or whatever. It's up to you. And the first question is, how do you know when it's time to work on your confidence? How do you know when it's time to work on your confidence? When is enough enough? Do you have this chronic pain around this stuff? And are you going to, just do it? And, even if you think the solution is worse than the problem, examine that and see what comes up for you. Okay, so some questions there for you. And, thank you for hanging out with me today. A reminder that you can get access to the Fierce Fatty Vault, which has a massive resource, collection of resources around this topic, all for free, all for you. And click the link in the description to get that. And I will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Have an incredible fatty day. All right, so that is our podcast today. I hope you had the best time tuning in. Or if you're North American, you'd say tuning in. You're wrong. Hey, I went into a black hole learning about why is it that certain countries, USA, say things like, hey, say the countries Iraq and Iran as Iraq and Iran. It gets on my floppy tits so badly. I was like, why is it? Because I started watching this program, Designated Survivor, on Netflix. It's 5 out of 10, don't bother with it. Maybe if you like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, it's like about the president. And they say Iraq and Iran all the time. And I'm like, no. And obviously I'd noticed it before then. And so then I Googled it, like, why is this happening? And apparently, so two different theories is that Germans say Iraq and Iran, and during World War II, this German phrasing of it rubbed off on people from the States. And more recently, which I found was interesting, was that is a way to mock those countries. The same way that people used to say Italian instead of Italian, and that's kind of fallen out of thing. And I didn't know that Italian was a way to mock Italians. It didn't even occur to me because I don't say it. But that's kind of fallen out of the lingo of people from the States. But apparently that was what people from the States would say Italian. I presume people still do, but mostly it's fallen out of fashion. But saying Iraq and Iran hasn't fallen out of fashion. Isn't that interesting? And also there was another theory that it doesn't make sense in English language, like an I before an R should be Iraq, not Iraq, because that is not a sound that is associated with those orders of letters. So who knows? But and then a lot of people were like, oh, I just don't know how to pronounce it. I was not sure, so I always just say Iraq. But it's like Iran. I looked up the correct pronunciation. I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but it's Iran, like Eeron, and Iraq. So anyway, side note, I was just thinking about that. I'm always just thinking about, because my accent is changing all the time. It's becoming more Irish the longer I'm in Ireland, and the more Canadian the more I'm in Canada, and I've been there for 10 years. And so I notice myself saying words differently. And like, you know, John Oliver from Last Week Tonight. I really like that show. And he was saying some words which were, he said it in a North American version. And I was thinking, oh, I wonder if he's doing that just because most of the audience are probably from the States, or if he has fallen into saying these words differently. And, you know, like, who's right, really? Words are words, unless you're being, you know, purposefully a dick about it, which most people probably aren't. But yeah, anyway, side tangent, I was saying goodbye, and you started making me talk about all of this stuff. Stop making me talk about all of this stuff. Anyway, all right, okay. All right, okay. I'll see you later. Have a great rest of your day. Stay fierce, fatty. And I will see you in a while, alligator. And goodbye. Bye.